Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to my Daily Dose with Tim. Today's season 2, episode 38. We're going to carry on with lease options, and today's part 3 of the same topic this season. And today we're going to leverage the Ontario market as our example to go through a deal analysis and a deal example. So, one of the biggest things that, and the feedback I always get when I first do the analysis, when I walk through the deal analysis with everybody, is the fact that wait, hang on a second. There's supposed to be something called land transfer tax. And surprise, in case you didn't know this, I live in Alberta, Canada, which means we don't have land transfer tax. And I understand that in the UK, you guys call it stamp duty. That's really what it is. And so today we're going to go over an example using an Ontario property as our base here. And so how about we say, because this is the type of deals that have been fairly popular amongst the Trust Your Talent students over the last little bit here. So how about let's do it this way. So a lot of the students, what the deals that they've been doing is that they are able to put tenant buyers into properties that are at about 325,000 currently in purchase price, and then usually they're in a 5% market appreciation. So remember, I'm just going to take out my calculator here, which means if we calculate the number forward, if it's a 3-year arrangement, what that means is the tenant buyer's option to purchase price is going to be 376, in this case 228. I'm just going to round it up to about 200, or you know what, let's do 300 in this case, 228. So what we can do here now is figure out how much will it cost to get into the deal. And so from an acquisition perspective, yesterday, or the last episode rather, I mean, it was yesterday, we used 20% as our down payment there. So what we're going to do is, let's say, you know what, in case we're not able to get 20% down, the lenders are now requiring us to put down 25%. So today, instead of using Rate Hub, I'm also going to go back to using the Canadian Mortgage app, which we've covered in the past already. And if you haven't downloaded it yet, make sure that you do that. And if you're in any other parts of the world, make sure that you use a local amortization calculator for your mortgages, okay? So what we're going to do now is punch in the numbers. Home price, we're buying it at 325,000, and the down payment at 20%. That means 65,000 right here. Okay. And so what we're going to do is, once again, yesterday we used 30-year amortization, assuming that because maybe you or your money partner that's coming in to back this deal and become a JV partner, joint venture partner with you, they're not able to get 30 years and they can only get 25 years for whatever reason. Let's just take a look at what that would look like. Okay. So 25 years, and let's just say worst case scenario, 3% interest is what we're dealing with. So right here, we're going to say 3% interest and 25 years. So that means our PI right here is 0.44. So if you've been following my daily dose with Tim, you know that I tend to like to overestimate expenses. However, just so that we don't confuse too many people here, even though it's 0.44, what I'm going to do is simply just round it up to 1231. So that is our mortgage payment. So principal and interest payment on a monthly basis. Okay. And let's look at it this way. So from an acquisition standpoint, I just want to say down payment is 65,000. Okay. And then we have inspection, we have appraisal, we have maybe miscellaneous, we have legal, and let's not forget that we also have land transfer tax now. So 500 here, 500 here, maybe another 500 there, and then $2,000 for legals. Typically speaking, if you're dealing with a run-of-the-mill average single-family homes, $2,000 is more than enough on that. And so when we go back to the Canadian mortgage app now, we can actually scroll down and find out land transfer tax. So land transfer tax in this case, assuming it is not in Toronto, and really for a lot of you guys that are in Toronto, you understand $325,000, it does not have a Toronto address. It will have an Ontario address. So what that means is the total land transfer tax in this case, based on the purchase price, is $33.50. So if we were to add it all up now, so 65,000 plus the 3,500 of all that and plus 3,350 in land transfer tax. So what we have is 71,850. Okay. So that's really how much money we got to put into the deal to get into it. However, let's not forget that ultimately speaking, though, your tenant buyer's qualification, ability to buy you out at the end is really what ensures the success of the program overall. Okay, because remember, what we're doing here is to make sure that we're able to help them get to the finish line. Otherwise, this is not a rent to own anymore. This is not a lease option anymore because they're not going to have the option to purchase. So always walk from the end goal in mind. So what I mean by that is if we're looking at $376,300 as their option to purchase price, if you remember, the 10% total option consideration in this case now would work out to be $37,630. And assuming that they have been saving up a little bit and they come in with, let's say, not a lot of money, but let's just say $11,000, what that means is there is a shortfall of $26,630. And this is also a 3-year process. So there's 36 months now for them to work out and accumulate the shortfall there. So 26,630 divided by 36 months, we have 739.722. So let's just round it up to 740. So let's figure out what the cash flow would be in this case. So fair market rent, let's say in this market is probably about 1,600 for a property like that. And then monthly option consideration. Again, these are all approximates. You can make different business decisions in terms of what you want the fair market rent to be, and if you even want to adjust it over the course of the 3 years as well. However, assuming that you do not, this is the number that we are looking at. Okay, so 2340, that's our revenue on a monthly basis. I'm going to use the green for money coming in. And then now we're going to use the red for money going out. So what that would look like is, once again, our pity payment. So PI is 1,231. And let's just say taxes about 280 on a monthly basis. Insurance is about 100. Let's see. If we add it all up, 1,231 plus the 380, we have 1,611 here. So ultimately speaking, what that means is cash flow on a monthly basis is 729 per month. That's pretty darn good for a property that you buy for 325,000. And what we have is over 36 months because it's a 3-year program. Okay, so let's just do total profit from cash flow is 26,244 right here. And now we gotta look at profit at closing. I'm just gonna use a different color here. So profit at closing now, basically what that means is from a revenue standpoint, you know what, let's turn that into green once again. So revenue in this particular case is really the option to purchase price, because the day your tenant buyers qualify to buy the property out, that's how much money you're going to charge them to buy you out, which means it's 376,300 right here. And once you've got the money going in, we still have expenses. So let's go back to our mortgage calculator once again. And then what we will do is look at the amortization table. So under the amortization table, what it says is we got a mortgage outstanding at the end of 3 years of $238,018. Okay, so this is mortgage balance. And then once again, we got to pay a lawyer to convey the deal for us, to do the conveyancing process, finish the transaction. We're still going to do $2,000 once again. Typically, it's a lot less than that, but rather overestimate expenses and underestimate revenue, okay? And next thing is their total option consideration. That's going to turn into their final down payment when they are qualified and choose to exercise their option to purchase the property. So in this particular case now, I know we only rounded it up by a few cents, but let's just be very diligent once again. So monthly option consideration was $740, and they've been paying that for 36 months, plus the initial $11,000 that they put in. This means that they have $37,640 here. And last but not least, we got to make sure that we actually pay ourselves back first so that we can figure out the actual profit at closing. So remember now, we actually didn't do this earlier, which means right here, we have initial option consideration to offset the money going out of our pocket to acquire the property, to get into the deal, to make some more money in the long term. So what that means is the total initial investment is now $60,850. So $60,850 is right here. So let's do the math now. Take out the calculator. We have $376,300. That's the revenue, money into the pocket. And now we got to start to take money out of our pocket. So minus $238,018 as the mortgage balance, minus $2,000 for your legal bills, minus $37,640 because we got to rebate that money back to the tenant buyers, and then minus the initial investment, which is $60,850 in this case. And so profit at closing, you'll have to write that again, is a total of $37,792. And so if we add it all up, total profit from the deal is, forgot to mute my phone. That's what you heard. If you heard that, is $64,036. And if you want to figure out the return on investment on this deal now, let's take a look. So return is $64,000. Initial investment is, well, you know what? Let's do it this way. Initial investment was $60,850. Okay, so let's do that. And times 100% divided by 3 years. This works out to be 35.08% per year. So here we have it. Using an Ontario-based property as a deal example, going through the same math one more time as well. So what I'm going to do in the next episode is take us to British Columbia, Canada, because there's also land transfer tax over there, and the property values are generally a lot higher in that whole area regardless. And so we're going to take a look at what those numbers look like. And by the way, I forgot to mention this. If this is a strategy that you're interested in, that you're looking into, and you want to learn more about, Trust Your Talent is actually running a whole week worth of boot camp starting next Tuesday, November 10th, for 5 days in a row. And so I'm going to be posting the Facebook group information with the video on my page. So make sure that you come in and click on it so that you can get yourselves enrolled into that group and get yourself registered to learn more about it as well. So that's it for tonight. Thank you so very much for joining me again. And I hope second time around, it's a lot easier and a lot faster to follow as well. If not, doesn't matter. The video is going to be posted. It's going to stay on there. So watch as many times as you need to. With that said, thank you so much. I appreciate you and appreciate your engagement and your comments, your love, your support, and more importantly, sharing the videos with those who you think can benefit from this. So thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening, everybody. Live well.